I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street.
Do you guys ever feel a prolonged lack of energy? Sometimes I do, and that means I'm not getting enough B12. What is B12? Well, B12 doesn't give you energy, but what it does is help your body convert food into energy by helping your body to produce more red blood cells. A lot of companies offer a B12 supplement in either beverage or pill form, but a lot of the B12 actually gets lost by the inefficiencies of the digestive system. Well, those days are over. Forget everything that you think you know about inhalation and imagine a world where inhaled products are designed for health and wellness. Imagine inhaled products engineered to be free of toxins and instead provide a functional benefit with every breath. Well, that world is now. Introducing electronic vitamin B12 from Inhale Health, a major breakthrough in vitamin B12 delivery. Inhalation allows vitamin B12 to be absorbed instantaneously when breathed in. Vitamin B12 inhalers provide a non-invasive, portable, and highly effective way to maintain peak vitamin levels. Each vape pen comes preloaded with 400 breaths, which is roughly a 1-month supply, and is already charged. You don't need to refill it, you don't need to recharge it. When you're done, simply throw it in the recycle bin and order another one. I love this product so much that I actually reached out to the company and asked them to sponsor my show. And they agreed. So here's what they're going to do. Every one of my listeners who goes to inhalehealth.com and orders any of their 7 different vape pen products is going to get a 10% discount plus free shipping when you put in the promo code FSP as in Fascination Street Podcast. So there it is, guys. That's inhalehealth.com, 10% off any of their 7 products, free shipping. Promo code FSP. So give it a shot. You'll be glad you did. And hey guys, you're welcome. Hi everybody, this is Steve Owens from Fascination Street Podcast. I really appreciate your listening to the show. I'm having a lot of fun getting to talk to some really fascinating people, and I want to continue doing this, but I need your help. I need you to subscribe and tell people about the show. But the biggest thing you can do to help me is to rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen through. As a special thank you, anyone who rates and or reviews the show, send me a screenshot as proof and I will mail you a set of 3 pair of silk cufflinks courtesy of my friends at Menlo House. You can send it via Twitter to @FascinationSTPD, via Instagram to FascinationStreetPod, or email me at FascinationStreetPod@gmail.com. I really appreciate all of you for listening and for helping. Thank you so much. Now let's get to this week's guest. Welcome back, guys. Remember last year when I went to see that outdoor drama, Tecumseh? Well, that episode was so much fun and such a hit that my wife and I went back to see the show again, and I got to talk to some more of those folks. This episode is with me, one of the producers and the CEO, as well as 6 of the actors in this year's performance. In this episode is actors Ella Embry, Robert O'Neal, Susan Leist, who you may remember from the first Tecumseh episode, which I'm calling Tecumseh Part 1, as well as Kim Greenwalt, Etienne Wegrzyniak, and Malcolm Hayden, as well as producer and CEO Brandon Smith. In this episode, we find out what the heck a producer does, how all of these guys came to the Tecumseh show, what they get out of it, and how relevant the story is 200 years later. There's still about a month of performances left at this show, and I highly recommend you giving it a shot if you're in the area. You can get tickets at tecumsehdrama.com, and that link will be in the show notes. Enjoy, guys. This is Tecumseh Part 2.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
Okay, guys, we are recording now. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your time. I know some of you have to leave halfway through, so I appreciate you waiting for me and my crazy late dumbass. Can we just kind of go around and introduce yourself and tell me who you play or what you do in the Tecumseh outdoor drama?
I'm Etienne, and I play Muga, and I also do the pond ride. I ride the horse through the pond up a ramp.
That's so crazy. All right, go ahead.
I'm Malcolm, and we say just I play stand in water, and that is it.
Awesome.
I'm Ella. I'm the makeup designer, the blood technician, and I play Makomo.
The blood technician.
I make all the blood you see on stage.
Okay, vampire, go ahead.
I'm Brandon. I'm the producer.
Yes, you are. Thank you, Brandon.
I'm Robert. I'll be playing Jebediah Whitlock and Sergeant in tonight's performance. They'll have a drill in Act 2, and I'll pretty much be yelling the orders out while they do that.
Sweet.
I'm Susan Leist, and again, I am Mrs. Galloway and the wig designer.
You remember her from the last one?
Yes!
She's back.
You shall be beside.
I'm Kim Greenwalt, and I play Tebeth Kishtaway, and along with Etienne, we also pony horses before the show starts and after the show ends. Make sure they get upstage and back to the barn.
So like when the show, like the first time the horses come through, they come like from behind. I guess it would be, I don't know, stage, right? I don't know, whatever. From behind the audience, on the audience's left, they come through. If I remember, I probably don't. You're all
You're
looking
right.
like I'm crazy.
The different horses come from different spots.
I was so
They're
excited
everywhere.
to see it, and then when it finally happened, I almost exploded because you could probably tell from the last interview I was super duper excited, and then when I saw it, I was just like I was like a little kid, like all freaked out. So Etienne, where are you from?
I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Oh my gosh! So before this, have you ever heard of Tecumseh? Well, not him, but the show.
No, not at all. I just finished my first semester of acting, and we were almost done with our second, and my teacher told us about this little paper outside that said Tecumseh, and she's like, the director is interviewing here at our community college, and she was like, go there and interview it for it, and that's what I did, and he told us about it, and it was pretty cool. I didn't think it was going to be this big, but
It's enormous, right?
yeah.
Is this the same director from last time?
No, we have a
Different director.
different one.
Is this a boy or a girl?
This is a boy. His name is Brent Gibbs. And he had been here back in the 90s and had directed and been the PSM and done a whole bunch of different stuff. He'd been on the stage. I don't remember what roles he
was-
played.
He
was
was
White Wolf.
White Wolf, Tenskwatawa.
Yeah.
He was Tecumseh at one point. So yeah, he played many other roles.
He was, I think, Ross too. At some point.
Yes.
So he's been around.
Yeah, he was around for 15 years. He said he had been, and then it's been about a 20-year gap, and now he's back.
So now you've lost the lady that teaches you all these different fights and choreographies, and right? Didn't she like?
She did, but Brent Gibbs, it seems like a lot of Tecumseh, because we have such a fight-heavy show, when you're in the show, you're learning those skills and you tend to keep at it. And Brent was the same way. And so he is the department head at the University of Arizona in their theater department. And he is known for his fight choreography as well. So it's very different from Jenny Mel from last year, but it's just as good in different ways.
Very cool. How did you find out about it?
I found out about this from the Southeastern Theater Conference. So I'm from Alabama, and I was auditioning at SCTC, and Tecumseh called me back, and we had an interview, and I talked to both Jeremiah and Brent, and I would have never known at that point who they were. And so I talked to them, and then a couple weeks later, they sent me the email and offered me the job. And so I said yes.
This is your how manyth year?
This is my first year in the professional theater, but I've been doing theater since I started college.
Got you. And this is your first year in Tecumseh?
Yes.
And you, Etienne?
Oh, this is my first
Year in Tecumseh? All right, go ahead.
I was also at SCTC, the Southeastern Theater Conference. I'm from Mississippi. So when they call...
I'm going to pause you.
Yeah.
Where from in Alabama?
I was born in Dothan, Alabama, but I go to school in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay. My dad lives like in Foley, Alabama.
I know where that's at. It's about 20 minutes from Mobile.
Cool.
Nice, yeah.
And so where in Mississippi are you from?
I just graduated from the University of Southern Miss in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Oh,
Yeah, it's about an hour between New Orleans and Jackson, so just smack
I
dab
know where it is.
Oh yeah?
My stepson went there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
When? Oh, okay.
long before you. Cool.
Yeah, I got a call back from, I just spoke to Jeremiah. I hadn't met Brent, and I mentioned offhand to him that I had like costuming experience, I had outdoor stage experience, I had blood experience, I had makeup experience. It wasn't a lot of experience, but I had it. And he was like, send me your tech resume. And here I am doing blood and makeup.
So when you tell somebody with a straight face that you have blood experience, how does that conversation go?
It depends on who I'm talking to. There's been a couple moments where somebody's overheard me while I'm not like out shopping. I'm on the phone with someone talking, oh yeah, I need some red food dye for the blood. And they're like... But like they just have this look of fear on their face. But usually people are like really excited. And they're like, how do you make that? What's in that? Like, how do you do that? So it's always really cool.
It seems like a conversation you should really fake in an elevator.
Yeah.
Just to get reactions. Like just pull up your phone and everybody knows you don't have reception. Just start talking about your
My
blood
favorite
experience.
part is when I've been working with it and it stains my hands. So I go out into town with blood-stained hands and doing things or
Yes.
buying things, and they always like double take to see my hands, and I'm like, it's fake. I promise it's fake.
You should do that, but then specifically buy duct tape, tarp, and then return it all the next
And then
day.
there you
But
go, yeah.
I think it'd
Just
be
freak some
great.
people out. Why not?
Brandon, how long you been here?
I've been back for almost 4 years, but I was here for 8 years before that.
And you left because first, how did you find it? How did you find this thing?
Well, I grew up in Chillicothe, so I'm a native,
Oh, cool.
and so I don't remember a time in my life
So
when I
you
didn't
know
know about
Kevin?
it.
So y'all grew up together?
Close friends. Yeah,
There's only like 9 people that are friends.
that's right. So I mean, I left town for 22 years and came back when this job became available. So
Oh, sweet.
coming home for me.
So you did it for 8 years, and then you left for 22?
I did a different job here for 8 years. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah.
What brought you back?
The job.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet. You gonna do it forever?
That's a long time. Forever.
Don't answer. We'll get that answer. In.
Yeah.
We'll get that answer in forever.
Good.
Where are you from?
I'm from Circleville, which is about 20 minutes north of here.
Born and raised?
Yep.
Interesting.
I
So
have bred.
you probably knew all about Tecumseh.
The funny thing is,
Ready for this?
I had a brother who worked here for about 4 years, so I knew of the theater.
Are you going to say what kind of brother he is?
He was a twin brother. Yeah, so I've been dealing with that for a little bit. But no, it was interesting seeing his first year in the show because I remember hearing of Tecumseh.
The person.
And the person, I've taken a lot of history courses and read about a lot of history in college because I was really into it at the time. So I heard
I
about
would
it in the
imagine
show.
that they teach the story of Tecumseh in grade schools here, right?
No,
They-
at least not in
they-
Circleville. They're probably here.
Well, I give tours, and I was talking to the people there, and one of the families said that they were bringing their kids to come see Tecumseh because their son or daughter was taking Ohio history, whatever the class is, and she wanted them to know this story before the class started.
I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and so I was in, I don't know, I guess 3rd grade, like 1980 or late something like that, and they taught the story of Tecumseh in grade school in San Antonio.
It was
Texas.
very influential.
So I'm very surprised that they don't teach it here. locally.
It's in the 4th grade curriculum
That's
in
what-
the state of Ohio. So I don't know if you missed 4th grade, but
He skipped a grade.
Yeah.
All of us aren't
I don't know.
able.
I went to Circleville City Schools, and there's a lot of missing things there.
I have a hunch that maybe you and your twin brother would skip school. The school only thought there was one of you, and
No, not
Switch
really.
up back in the day.
No, but I saw his first year, and it was amazing because I started to remember it because I saw it when I was a little kid, but I didn't remember it all. And so there were certain moments in the show happened, and I was like, this seems really familiar. I don't think I've ever seen this show. And it gets to the end, and it was like, oh no, I've seen this show. I know this part. And so it was really interesting. And then coming aboard for this year, it's really exciting.
is this also your first year?
It is my first year.
And
yes.
this is your first year.
It's my first year.
So far, we're all first years except
Yep.
for Homeboy's been here his whole life.
And
I've not been here my whole life.
We haven't got here
I
yet.
haven't gotten.
Susan, welcome back. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
It was so much fun last time.
I know.
This is your
13th, lucky 13.
whoa. That's a lot of years.
It's so long.
So how come you keep coming back?
Well, I love it. It's funny because, I think I mentioned it last year. I'm from West Virginia. I'm only from an hour and 45 minutes away. And we definitely have West Virginia state history. We have a huge thing called the Golden Horseshoe that you take a class on, you get a test on, but they had never mentioned Tecumseh. So I'd never heard about Tecumseh or the show until I got the job offer for here. And I'm kind of like really shocked that like I'm so close and had never heard about it. But I keep coming back. It's like two-pronged. One, because the story is so important and I think it's so cool and that sort of thing. And I love that I'm helping tell this story because it's something that I would have loved to have known about as a kid. But then the other thing is it's just the family atmosphere. Like I have my family who I see every summer here. I feel like this is my second home.
Well, after 13 years. I mean,
Yeah.
Hopefully you would. Right?
Yeah, I definitely feel that way. Like this weekend, my best friend Holly and Trevin, who were in the show for 9 years, they met here as actors, started dating, got engaged here on the mountain, got married here on the mountain. They've been married for 4 years. They came in to visit and see the show this weekend, and they saw it last night, and so I was really excited to have them again. Like I'm always excited when alumni come back and everything. It's just like the alumni association with the show is very strong. It's very much a family. And like we have so many new people and I'm like, they're just being introduced to our family now.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Ma'am, speak loudly.
Okay, sure. Well, I have spent the last 3 years in Stanton, Virginia. And when I got the flu and decided to still go to the United Professional Theater auditions in Memphis, which is like a 9-hour drive, it was not my best life choice. But I got a call back from Jeremiah, and we had a conversation. And beforehand, I was in my hotel room, and I was like, "Tecumseh, what's this? Where's Chillicothe? What's going on?" So I went into that callback, which is more of like an interview kind of setting, and we had a conversation, and he's like, if you're interested, email back in like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, no, I'm interested, Jeremiah. It's theater and horses, which the one I was in grad school studying, and the other is the saving grace that got me through school, horses. So got the job offer, and here I am, first year.
That is awesome. So you were in Virginia for 3 years, but is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up in a small town close to Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool. Did you already know the Tecumseh story?
The only
It sounds like you didn't since you're like, looking it up.
No, the only thing that I knew, I'm like, Tecumseh. Well, the General William Tecumseh Sherman, what his middle name was given in honor of Tecumseh. So I knew that much, and then now I know more.
Most people, when I tell them about it, they go, "Doesn't he make engines or something?" And I'm like, "No, not." That's almost offensive. So be
How you pronounce that word?
Yeah.
Be careful.
So, everybody who's a first year, what are y'all most excited about? Because it's already in production. Y'all have already done shows. First of all, was it what you thought it would be?
No, I didn't think it was gonna be so big. I knew it was like a big theater, but I didn't think it was.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm gonna do that a lot.
No, you're okay.
So since last year when I interviewed you guys, I have interviewed a bunch of other people, and some of them are actors, and I have brought up this outdoor drama. I'm always talking about how it's so big, it's crazy. It's like an 800-seat amphitheater that they sell out. And then I went back and re-listened to the episode with Susan and Benji and everybody, and it's closer to 1,800. It's like 1,700 seats.
1689 with full capacity.
It
There you
is
go.
so
Get that torn out,
massive.
okay.
So
That's
you
really
didn't
good.
expect it to be that
No,
big.
when I first saw the stage, I said this before earlier today with one of the directors who's doing Much Ado. It doesn't look big, but the moment you step on stage, it's huge. It's way bigger than you expect. And the fact that horses can run on it and all that, and cannons going off and shooting, it's incredible. It's like you're in a movie and you get to relive it every day, and I just find that so fascinating. And
It
enjoyable.
has to be a lot different as far as like projection, because usually when you're on stage, there's a wall behind you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Usually.
to help. And in
Well-
this show, there's a river behind you.
Like the Greek amphitheater style format of the stage. It helps with projection
It's kind
of
of
how the
bullshit.
stage is built.
Yeah,
into
it's like a
Yeah.
fishbowl. Yeah,
So it helps
naturally
with
happens.
projection.
At least a little bit.
They worked on it
Another thing
hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and we're just building off of stuff like that. No, but it's really cool.
Yeah, well, that was the
and
reason why they
another thing
chose that.
Yeah,
that
yeah, of
the
course.
spots,
Really
they have a
enjoyed
lot
Yeah, a lot of the
was,
outdoor theaters do that.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that like you may not have a big role, but every person plays such a large part in the show. Like that's what I really enjoyed. Like you may have one line or no lines, but you are as important as the main protagonist.
This show really is a case of that phrase or whatever. There are no small parts, just small actors. Like there are no small parts in this show, and a lot of people played multiple roles, right?
Yeah.
How many? I mean, like, were you expecting this also?
Well, I was sufficiently prepped. There were a few when I was a freshman. There were some upperclassmen that had been here 2 or 3 times, and so they had told me about it, and that they enjoyed it. So I knew enough to know what to expect. But once I got here, it was you don't know. When they say outdoor theater, that's what they mean. Everything is outside. You don't know backstage until backstage is the woods. When backstage has deer and snakes and spiders, raccoons, trees, out like humidity. Outside, like you share a stage and backstage with the wildlife. And this is their home. You're in their place.
Indeed.
It's you don't know. It's different. It's another beast. It's different.
It absolutely is. When I had heard about it from Kevin and his wife, Angie, I was like, well, that sounds cool, but I mean, come on, like it's just a play. No. Oh my gosh. Like, when I got there and after we recorded, her and Benny took me to go see the stage, I almost pissed myself. I was like, this is right? I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is amazing. So, you do the blood and
The makeup.
the makeup.
And the acting.
So we talked a lot about body paint as far as makeup last time and how kind of trending away from that.
We've put it back in.
We have.
Okay, why?
Then we have a lot of Caucasian actors that just need help.
They just cannot tan.
Because the guy who's playing Wazagaboa right now, he is very and truly Caucasian, and there's just no way he would be able to tan to the point where he would look natural.
You're preaching to the choir, sister. If I took off my
I
shirt, you
could
could
not.
see my organs.
And me too. Like I'm just at that point where I could not get sufficiently tan enough to look Native American and it be okay. Or like I not look sick or something. So there are some of us that are just like too white to not body paint. So we did add it back in. There are some people though who have been like Etienne was one of the ones that was supposed to body paint. He's been tanning consistently, so he does it so it doesn't wash off when he does the pond swim. So we do have people who are like trying to get, it sounds like a drug when I say this, but like trying to get off of it and trying to tan so they don't have to wear it and we don't use that resource as much. But there are some people like me who will be body painting for the whole summer.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And what do you do for blood?
For blood, well, we have 3 different types of blood. We have a blood for your mouth, we have a blood for your head, and we have a blood for your body.
And why are they all different?
Because the one for your mouth, you have to be able to eat it, and so it's safe and non-toxic. The one for your head, it's used with baby shampoo, so if it gets in your eyes, it doesn't like burn or like make you blind. And the one for your body, we use with detergent. That way, it washes easily out of costumes.
That's amazing.
Right? It's so
That's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's a science.
It is.
You do a
It's
show
gotten
before
down to
you
a
use, you know,
science.
techniques to get around
Yeah.
things.
That's super rad. Brandon, what's your favorite thing about this whole thing? And first of all, before you answer that, what is the Shodo Society?
So the Scioto Society is the nonprofit organization that produces Tecumseh. Okay. And it's not Tecumseh is not the only thing we do, but it's the biggest. It's the most public thing that we do. But we also have a history of beginning projects and then passing them off to other people. So we're kind of an incubator of other projects.
Oh,
as
cool.
well.
And when you say it again, since I said it wrong?
Scioto
Scioto.
Society.
All right,
like
cool.
the Scioto River. Yeah.
Sure.
And so the society was founded about 3 years before the show began, in order to raise money and
With the show in
capital.
mind?
With the show in mind.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of the diversifying that the Scioto Society has been doing has been since Brandon's been here as the CEO. We have a lot more concerts on Sundays with a lot of bluegrass bands that come in. We've developed a lot of the stuff we talked about last summer with Haunted Mountain. They're doing a whole different kind of thing called the Sleepy Hollow Experience, where they're working with, there's a poster back there, with Serenby from the South. So it's going to be with Brian Cloudis. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing other than Tecumseh that I really think strengthens the theater, so it's not just we're a one-note theater, has been Brandon in the last few years. Like, I really like the fact that we're trying to throw more stuff in. We're doing more Shakespeare. We do the trunk show and bring those to schools in the fall. We're doing a lot of things showing other aspects of theater.
And the trunk show is just a very abbreviated skeletal version of the actual Tecumseh show, right? And last year was the first year?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so, and of course we do all of those other things really just in order to keep Tecumseh going. 20 years ago, outdoor drama was bringing in, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10 times as many people as it does now. We're one of the lucky theaters. We survived that, and a lot of them did not. But still, at the high water mark, when we were doing 80 to 90,000 people a year, we now do 40 to 50. And so we've had to really be creative and come up with ways to find new streams of revenue, new ways to raise money, ways to cut costs, and to be able to still tell the story in a highly artistic fashion at half the crowds. So we do all that other stuff. It's great fun doing all that other stuff. It has certainly, I think it's helped us in casting. It's helped us, with people who have seen the show 10 times and maybe they don't want to see it for the 11th time, or I'm going to come in 3 years instead of 2 years. It gives them another reason to come to the theater. Reminds them what a beautiful place it is.
Gorgeous.
And so for all those reasons, it's been good. But it really is the whole purpose, the sole purpose, is to keep being able to put Tecumseh on the stage every summer.
Very cool. Well, keep doing it. Keep
Yeah.
doing whatever it takes to tell
Forever.
these stories.
Forever.
Yes, until forever. Now, twin brother, when
Oh, here we go.
It's interesting.
You
I
knew
love
it was
that,
coming. Can't avoid it.
does he also have the beard?
Oh, his is longer than mine.
Oh,
I think it's down to his chest now.
So you're the
Yeah,
little,
'cause he's
you're the
black
little
beard
twin,
He's
right?
playing
now.
Blackbeard in a theater called
Pirates
Voyage in South Carolina.
Oh, cool.
And
Where in
he's-
South Carolina?
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a dinner theater big show. It's kind of like Excalibur or
Dixie Stampede.
Dixie Stampede.
It's by the same company,
huge
Dollywood.
dinner theater place, and he's Blackbeard in it.
Oh, cool.
He's like the main character.
That's rocking.
Yeah.
It's funny because because Richard was here for 4 years?
4 years.
4 years, and I remember I was friends with him and everything. And Robert would come and visit, but I could always tell them apart because Robert was normally clean shaven. So it weirds me out more now that you have the beard, and I feel so bad that occasionally I'll be like, Rich.
I got to a point
Robert,
in college
I'm
where I was
sorry.
just like, I don't have to shave. I can just have a beard. And then I grew it out, and I was like, yeah, I like it a lot more.
Has it worked out for you,
What?
having a beard?
Yes. It hides the fact that I don't have a chin.
Well, that's awesome. Was this everything you expected? Now, I know that you didn't sort of remember it, but when you finally got here and it started.
I had done outdoor drama before. There's a place in New Philadelphia, Trumpet and Land. I had worked there for 2 years. And so I kind of had an idea of how outdoor dramas work. But like I was really kind of I wouldn't say I was taken aback, but it was just kind of like off my feet for a little bit because it's so different, companies run things differently, and so just getting into the habit of what they expect from me here, and I think I felt a little bit more of a Trumpet Land is doing great work, but I felt more of a connection here because I'm from here and I know the story. My brother was in it and I've seen the show a couple times, so it was great to actually be a part of the story I had seen for a couple of years.
Oh, cool.
And
And I feel like being from here, like the mountain, obviously, and the whole area, just it sort of exudes the story. Like once you see the
It
story,
does.
it makes sense that it's taking place here because it all took place here ish.
Mm-hmm. And there would be moments where you're like in costume and you're kind of a little bit away from the stage where it's just all trees. And
I
you're
gotta
sitting there in
tell you-
costume and everything and you're like, am I in a play right now? Or is this real?
Yeah. Is this life?
Is
And then you
this
see a
just
stage
scene?
light and you're like, oh yeah, it's a play.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, once you see the play, I've only seen it once, so especially after the first time you've seen it, even just walking back to your car, you feel like you're walking on hallowed ground. Like this is a special area that all of this stuff took place, and it's just really cool. So, since this is your 32nd year doing
32nd,
this show,
yeah.
30 seconds.
Wow. Okay, age me that old.
now,
You
since
got
this is
raised
your
by-
13th year, is it still as awe-inspiring every year when it starts for you?
It does. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I very much understand where I need to go, what I need to do, and I can go a little bit on autopilot when I need to. It's definitely helpful during rehearsals because all the new people run around with like chickens with their head cut off. Like, I gotta change my costume. I gotta get my prop. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. What's next? Oh, where do I have to be left? Stage right, stage left. And I love the fact that I know where I'm going. I know this is the point where I change into this costume. It's really nice, but I love the fact that like sometimes when I'm up in the woods ready to snuff the torches when they're doing the Tecumseh carry-off, it doesn't happen every night, but every once in a while, it still brings me to tears. When I do the lament, I will think about something and it will make me cry, and I can use that. It's things like that. There's never a time where I don't feel the connection, the opportunity for that magic to touch me. It doesn't have to all the time, but the fact that it still does. Is great.
The lament touch, like I cried last night. I was It was
I
exactly
sobbed last night.
It was exactly what I needed, and it's moments like that in
It
the
was a
show
good
that you
moment.
don't find in every show. Like there's moments like that where it's something sacred that we get to represent and show people that not everyone knows about, or will get the opportunity to know about, that we get to do, and that just feels so special.
And it still feels that way.
Yeah.
Like from your first year all the way to my 13th, I still feel that. Because if it was just a job, I don't think I'd keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's more than just a job here. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great job. I enjoy my paycheck. But it fulfills something in me, emotionally and spiritually and stuff like that. So I feel like I get the best of both worlds. I get something that I love doing, and I get paid for it, which is great.
Very, very important story y'all are telling. Was this everything you expected?
On the whole, I think it was. After I got the contract, in where I go to grad school, they're partnered with the American Shakespeare Center, and some of the actors there have, in the past done Tecumseh. So I'd go up to them and be like, or email or whatever, and be like, hey, tell me about your experience with XYZ. How was Tecumseh in the past? And like they would, so many good things to say.
How was your experience with XYZ?
With XYZ, like it was what I thought it would be. It was good. Yeah. Mostly, I don't even remember what I asked about anymore. I think like just the living situation, life on the mountain, and
Oh wait, y'all live on the mountain?
We live
in cabins.
right behind the stage.
Shut up.
We
Yes.
do.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The time has come.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, whoever needs to leave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
say goodbye. And if you can you tell us your social medias? Anything?
Sure.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
I don't even know.
I'm on Facebook as Ella Embry, and my Instagram tag is Hella Enchanted.
Well, Hella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that.
I'm Rob Neal. You can find me pretty much on anything at No Probs Robs.
Gosh.
Instagram,
love it.
Twitter,
Awesome. So you're leaving also?
Yeah.
We're part of the Living Street Tour.
Oh,
So we
sweet.
do these monologues back on stage and everything. So it's-
I'm just leaving at the same time because I got friends waiting for me.
Cool. Social medias?
I'm found as Susan Leist, Leist, on Facebook. There it is. I just joined Instagram.
excited.
Did you pull Instagram
I did
up?
because I
This
didn't
is
remember my
serious.
name because one of my roommate here who's 21 has to teach the old lady. So I'm apparently Susu Goddess 81 on Instagram. That's my name.
Well, I'll have to add you.
I do.
I think I still.
I don't think I've had one because I tried to do it and then it's like you're doing too much. You have to stop for a day and then I have not got it. I was like I'm just trying to add my friends.
Are you leaving too?
Oh gosh, I could stay for like 15 more minutes.
Cool, do that.
Okay.
in my spot.
Brandon, are you leaving?
I'm hanging out. I got a few more minutes too.
Cool, good. All right. And y'all are staying?
Yes, my tours don't start until later on today.
So, what are y'all looking to get out of this experience?
Well, there's a litany of experiences. After being here, I've noticed other actors that are just phenomenal, and I'm watching them, and I'm just like, man, your voice is fantastic, or the way that the actions you play on stage are amazing. And so I'm looking at other actors and taking note of what they do, and checking in with myself and seeing how can I become better as an actor. I mean, riding horses, that's also a plus. Learning.
To that point, as far as being better, like seeing yourself and things you can improve on, is there some aspect of this that's recorded so that everybody can watch themselves, or does that?
No, we never know. I've never seen the show, and we're on like show 32 now, and I've never seen it. I would love to see it, and I guess that's the purpose of it. You get to, after you've left, you get to come back and see the show. You aren't in it, but you come and see it. I would love to see the show, but
Yeah.
So does that mean Susan's never seen the show since she's been in it for 13 years?
She has seen it. She has had a couple nights when she was not quite up to going on stage and got to
Gotcha.
watch. Yeah.
Well, as much as that sucks, that's cool. She got to see the show.
Yeah.
You were saying?
I was saying, like, as Malcolm said, watching other actors, you learn from them, and you learn how to use your voice, you learn certain movements, and you learn certain techniques. And what's great is when one actor's doing really good, you start building off of each other, and the scene becomes more and more intense. In the first scene, the captain scene, when it really, really gets intense, we start building up and becoming more and more involved in the scene, and it becomes really deep. And I enjoy every moment of it, and that's something I really want to take back home, is just building off of other people. It's something incredible.
Cool. What about you?
Yeah, I would really love to just continue working with the horses and getting to know more about just proper caring for them. I rode when I was elementary school, middle school, fell out of it because theater is all consuming, then only got back into it in the last 2 years. So, I mean, I can ride a saddle, no problem, but bareback is a completely new experience. These horses that are in Tecumseh, they're trained with Western cues, which are different than English cues. I was an English rider, hunter-jumper. So going to Western, where the horses respond differently to your reins or to leg pressure, is something completely different.
I guess I never thought about that, but that makes 100% sense that there would be different cues for those different things. Mm-hmm. Do you actually have to hold on to the mane? Like, are you holding on to the horse's hair when you're up there?
Sometimes, like, there's a really steep hill that goes from backstage down past the pyro shed and around, that we ride the horses up and down every day to get them up to the stage. So sometimes when we're going up that hill or down that hill, I'll grab mane just to, like, oh God, stay on. I gotta stay on. Yeah.
I have to imagine there's a lot of leg squeezing. I don't know what you would call that.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot
build
of
up muscle.
leg pressure.
Yeah, you're gripping, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do all of y'all ride horses in the show?
I do not.
You do not.
I do.
You do too.
Yeah.
Is this your first time riding a horse?
No, I have horses at home. I ride at
Well,
home.
damn.
Yeah, everybody ain't able to have horses at home. So
No,
kidding.
I have a small farm in Arizona, and my mom and sister.
What do you farm out there? Cactus?
I mean, basically, yeah, it's all desert. My mom and my sister love riding horses, and they would always ride them. And
Y'all know he didn't say we all love riding horses. He was like,
they
love
like,
riding.
I help watch.
No, yeah, when I was younger, I didn't trust them, but as I got older, I really enjoyed it, and now every moment I can get on a horse, I want to stay on. I just want to keep riding and riding and riding. And
You're going to steal a horse, aren't you?
Nah, but you build a good connection with them, and they all work hard. Like, they don't have voices, they can't say much, but they're hard-working animals, and they're incredibly intelligent, and it's something you really can admire. Watching them across stage, like every moment I see another person ride a horse, it's like, it's so cool. They get to ride a horse.
It really is cool. I just can't believe there's like a dozen actual live horses
I know.
in this
Yeah.
show. It's amazing.
And they get the right of way too. I don't get that.
So you heard that, Brandon. So at the end of the season, you got to count the horses after this dude.
That's right. Got my eyes open.
Who owns the horses? Does Tecumseh own the horses?
We own some of the horses, and then the rest of the horses we borrow in the summer. And I don't know the first thing about horses, so luckily we have one of the leading guys in the country who does what he does, Tim Klein, just a couple of miles down the road. He grew up in the show here riding horses.
Oh, cool.
And so he travels the country all year long doing horse shows. And if he sees a horse he thinks is going to work in the show, he'll approach the owner and say, hey, are you interested in having your horse, in a show in Chillicothe? And we usually start off with, I think we started with 15 this year. We do a series of tests with them to see who we think is going to work well on stage. And that gets whittled down to about 10 to 12. And then when the actors get here and start riding the horses, it gets whittled down again. So what do we have, 9, I think, in the this year. So it's a little bit different every year because it depends on the talent of the riders that we have.
Sure.
And also just the availability of horses.
That's awesome. And I feel like there needs to be some sort of a bond, right? Like if the person and the horse don't get along, one of them kind of has to...
Yeah, for sure. And we actually sent a horse home this year because she was creating so much stress amongst the rest of the herd.
Oh, it was a girl horse?
Yeah.
Go figure.
Oh.
Just kidding. What are you looking to get out of this experience?
Yeah, just more working with the horses. It's something that I've really come to love and enjoy, and I want to learn as much about them as I can while I'm here. Yeah.
Very cool. I do feel like doing so many shows because y'all do it, what is it?
75 shows.
75 shows in 3 months?
3 months from June to September.
Wow. I feel like that's a really, really good opportunity to hone your craft.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting a heck of a dent in those 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
So, well, what are you looking to get out of this show this season?
I'm looking to get out of this show not only the experience of outdoor theater, but meeting new people. There's this saying in theater that there's only 7 people in theater and they all know each other. And so
I feel like that's what they say about Chillicothe. There's 7 people here.
and they all
These
know
two
each other.
know each other.
And it's always nice to have new friends, meet new people, because everyone usually knows something that you don't. And they can help you or advise you, or you can advise them. And I love meeting new people, getting to meet new people, and it makes me happier, and I learn from them, and they learn from me, and it's just a joy.
I really feel like we've sort of gotten away from that a little bit nowadays. But you really can learn from and teach something to everybody.
Yeah.
Every day. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You can learn something from everybody every day and teach something to people every day. I think that's really cool. How important do you think the story is to be told?
Extremely important. It reminds me back home of the Apache Inn with Geronimo, and hearing Tecumseh. It's an incredible story about. I never knew that someone was able to rally up so many tribes and bring them all together. And the moment you step on stage, it's no longer you. You're talking about a story of a group of people who not many are around anymore, a language that many don't know about, and a culture that many don't know about. And you show the people who are watching these group of people, what they lived through, what they did. It was about survival and all that. And when you're talking about that show, learning about that language, you have more of a greater appreciation for it, and the show really does brighten that and show more about it.
I feel like the story is a really beautiful explanation of how it is possible to unite a bunch of people who don't really get along for a particular goal.
Mm-hmm.
And again, particularly nowadays, we're not really doing that. This might be the most divisive time ever. I know it is in my lifetime, but I think it's really cool to tell a story where that wasn't always the case. These tribes didn't like each other at all, and they warred against each other until this dude, had everybody come to an agreement. I think it's a really great story. What do you think? How important do you think the story is?
I think it's beautiful, and everyone should know about it. As I was reading the play before I got here, I was halfway through it, and I began to think, wow, I live in 2018. I know how this ends. And they didn't. And so, you had all these Shawnee and Indians fighting for this goal and purpose. And as you're reading the play, you just see drive, determination, perseverance, just die, just go. And they don't know that, and I do, because I live in 2018. I know the ending. And just being able to watch that on stage is really powerful.
Do you ever get lost? Do any of y'all ever get like you're in it and you're just watching, you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. And you're just like standing there watching everybody else do their thing. Like maybe if there's a lull in your action, you're just kind of standing there going, oh my God, this is amazing. Because y'all have to have the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I definitely feel that with 1-6, the shootout. It's chaotic. We don't know what's going on. Guns firing in every direction.
Is there cannons in this particular fight?
No,
Not in
there's
this
no
fight.
cannons in that
Okay.
one.
Just gunfire.
Just gunfire, because it's a scene where we exchange prisoners and it ends up going south, and they start shooting at each other, and it ends up with the death of Chillicothe, Tecumseh's older brother, and it's silent, and it's just heartbreaking hearing Tecumseh cry because she just lost someone so dear to her, and it's
I'm pretty sure that part of it is, planned, but to go from all of that loud gunfire to just complete silence is chilling.
it really
It's very
It is
effective
chilling.
staging.
How important do you think this story is?
Oh my goodness. Well, we performed on the 4th of July, and there were just so many ironies in that for me, because in this story of how the United States government and United States citizens, treated people who were different from them, I see what, happened later in history. The Trail of Tears, the Asian internment camps, sending Jews away who were coming over to flee the Holocaust. We turned them around and sent them back to Germany. I see even what's happening right now with the separation of children and parents at the United States-Mexican border, and the connections between what is happening in this story, Tecumseh, and what is happening and has happened in our world subsequently are so strong for me. And I just want to share that with other people and tell them it doesn't have to be this way. This is what has happened, but we can make it better. We can do better than we ever have done.
What year-ish does this drama take place?
During the time of 1812, is that correct? I know
It's the 1780s through 1813.
Okay, thank you.
So roughly 200 years ago? Yeah.
That's right.
It's amazing how far we haven't come, right? These same things are still going on now, like what you said. I agree. This story needs to be told. It didn't end well. This show doesn't end in the best way. I mean, it has a great ending, but it doesn't end the best for the people whose life story you're telling. It'd be great if we could all realize that it didn't end well the first time. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
What's up? So far, you guys have done, what'd you say, 31, 32 shows?
32 shows.
So you're roughly a third of the way through? Almost a third of the way through. Good
Yeah.
Lord. What do you think so far? Are you going to come back next year? If they'll have you?
I would love to, yeah. I enjoy every moment of it. It's a great experience.
I guess that's kind of a shitty question because with the boss over here, who's going to say, no, I'm out?
No, I enjoy every moment of it. And
Wait, come back. You got to tell everybody your social media.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just on Facebook as Kim Greenwalt, and my Instagram is Kim Greenwalt, all lowercase. Yep,
Thank you so much, Kim.
absolutely.
I'll
Thank
see you guys
you.
tonight.
See ya.
Have a great day.
All right.
Sure, go ahead. Tell me if you want to come back next year.
I would come back next year. There is a part that is very interesting to me that I would love to play.
Oh.
And so I'm going to be giving the boss cupcakes and glove and shining his car so that I can make that dream a reality.
That is awesome. The people back home don't really know what you're doing as much as you didn't know before you got here, right?
yeah, they did.
So what do they think? What have you, because I'm sure that you've had conversations with them, and some of them might have even come, I don't know, but how does that conversation go? What do they think about what you're doing?
They were confused at first when I told them I got the job. They're like, oh, never heard about this place. And then they saw the photos of an artist that took of us, and they were just awestruck, and they're like, wow, this is amazing.
In this photo, was everybody in costume?
Yes, it was before we had the beginning.
This dude's like, I don't know anything about
Oh,
a
yeah, I'm
photo.
trying to remember. The wheels are turning.
Before we had the shoots posted on the
Yeah.
newspaper site here.
Oh, okay.
And they saw one of the photos, and they're like, this is amazing, like, this is cool. And then I told them what I do, and they were surprised about how much you do in the show.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. What about you? Your people?
My parents know that I'm an actor. They know all about it. But it may be kind of morbid. They love me, but it doesn't really. I could be doing anything else.
Oh, they're
And,
like, oh, cool. Hope
Yeah.
you're having fun.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll come and see you.
They're like, cool. You're out of the house.
Yeah, something to that effect. There isn't any, my kid does this. Just okay.
What about your friends and the rest of your family?
Oh my gosh! In the department at my university, I mean, everyone's very excited for me.
And this is in Mobile?
Yes.
Okay.
And they text me and ask me about it, and I keep them updated. I have coworkers at home that I keep them updated, and they all are very excited for me and love it, and I'm happy. I'm very happy, and plus I had to have this for my degree. So.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, at my university, as a BFA, as a Bachelor of Fine Arts, you don't graduate unless you have the university sees it as an internship, but it's actually a professional job. But you have to have it or you don't graduate.
Gotcha. My son is a chef, and he also had to do that. He had to go work somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Thank God he was getting paid while he was there. Like you, I'm sure, because you could have just as easily for your program taken an internship somewhere where you didn't get paid.
I wouldn't have done that. What do you want me to live on? Air and compliments?
Well, here you get to tell me about living here on the mountain. What's that like?
It's an experience. You're on a mountain.
Is it like going to camp? I mean, I never went to camp, so I don't know, but
it's kind of like that. It's very you get to know everyone, and the first week we all felt like we had been here forever.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because you've been around too. Because by then you're with each other all day, every day.
All day, every day for the rehearsal process. It felt like we had been here for months.
I feel like that'll make or break a relationship.
We didn't hate it.
Sure.
We loved it. It's like
Absolutely.
we knew each other, but it had only been 3 days.
Yeah.
Is that part of the test?
Part of the test.
Well, like if somebody comes in, like you're here, a few weeks early before the show starts?
Yeah, about three to 5 weeks, depending on what
Some
you're
of
doing.
that sort of a chemistry
I think it's important. In fact, we often don't hire people
based on
who
how well
cannot be here at the same time everybody else because those relationships get so strong so fast. And if you miss those first few days, it's like missing the first couple of days of school. You know what I mean? And like the friendships have already been made. You feel like this outsider coming in. So we often won't hire somebody just because of that.
They can't do it.
But it is it's a unique situation, because these folks live very closely together and work very intensely together, and so you don't get to go home at night and unwind. You're going home to the person you were just on stage with.
Now, are
all
these
day.
cabins with several people staying? Everybody doesn't get their own cabin, right?
No.
Some people do. There are some smaller, we call them hooches, that house one people, but generally 2 to 3 people in a cabin.
Cool. It sounds like a real party atmosphere. Everybody's all tired, sweaty, and dirty.
Yeah, we all.
It can be. It can be. I live here too, but I don't live there. There's a house here that I live in, and it's been an interesting experience for me as well because of, in my former life when I was here before, I did live with everybody, and so my instinct when I came back was I wanted to be there and be in that group of people, but
it's kind of not your role.
Exactly. I can't really do that in my role, so it's been a struggle for me to figure out that balance of being supportive and knowledgeable of people, but not throwing myself in, as a friend.
30 years ago, what were you doing here?
Well, I started as a ticket taker.
Okay.
And did several jobs up through. I left as a theater manager.
Do even the ticket takers stay here?
Sometimes.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes.
Wow, it must be a lot.
I don't think we have any
housing
house staff living here this year, do we?
No.
Yeah. So it just depends. A lot of the house staff live here in Chillicothe. Sometimes, if we have a specific need that we need to hire somebody who has professional experience for, we'll bring somebody in and they will stay in housing here.
Who cooks?
You do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you're hungry, you better pick it.
So is there grocery runs and stuff like that where everybody makes a list and throws money at somebody?
Everyone gets in their car.
Or does Brandon pay for everything?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
We're a non-profit theater. Right?
But yeah.
He's like, they're lucky I'm not charging them rent. Wait, are you charging them rent?
No, absolutely not.
We make Walmart runs. If someone needs a ride, we'll take them to.
Ooh, there's
to
an
Walmart.
Aldi not far from here, right?
Yeah.
He loves Aldi.
I was telling Kevin on the way up here, I was like, ooh, I wish we had Aldi back in San Antonio. I love that place.
He swears by it. I'm a Walmart. I go to
He
her.
likes Walmart.
I trust Walmart. She got everything that I need, and she's just.
Walmart's a she?
Walmart's a she.
She a girl?
Walmart's the best.
You should get your son to come and cook a meal for the cast.
Yeah, that doesn't sound expensive for me at all.
No.
This is not about you. This is about.
Zach, remember, this is a nonprofit.
I will get an opportunity to cook for the whole cast show here in a couple of weeks. We do a big picnic every year.
Love it.
We said we go up to one of our board members has a beautiful piece of property with a big pond on it. And so we put a big tent up there and take a grill, and I get to grill out all day for the cast, and it's great fun.
That sounds like a blast.
That's the first
It
day
is.
we're hearing of this.
We're excited. We're excited now.
That's free food. That's the night I don't have to cook.
That
That's
is
great.
awesome.
That's some of the best nights when
I
you
know,
get the free food.
Okay, so as we're winding down, give us all of your social media tags so everybody can reach out to you.
My Facebook name is Etienne Wegrzyniak.
Yeah, you're going to need to spell that. Maybe even a couple of times.
So Etienne, and then my last name is Wegrzyniak.
So guys, if you just want to run your hand, like just pound with your fist on the
Down
keyboard,
the keyboard.
that's how you spell this
Yeah.
dude's name. And that's on Facebook?
Yeah, and then Instagram it's 17EWEGRZYNIAK.
Same thing.
So again, but this time include numbers.
So my name is Malcolm Hayden, and you can find me on Facebook as Malcolm Hayden, MALCOLM. The second L is silent. And then on Instagram, my name is Mally, MALLY, and then 2 underscores and an H.
And
So,
an H.
That's, yeah, that's
Awesome.
me. That's,
Hit me, Brandon.
TecumsehDrama.com. Most importantly, Brandon Smith.
And also
Wherever you
there's the
wanna find me.
Tecumseh Instagram, right?
There is.
I think that's how I found you the first time.
And it's Tecumseh Drama, I think.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm sorry I was so late, but thank you for accommodating me. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I will see y'all tonight. I won't
Yeah.
see you tonight, but I will see y'all
Wonderful.
tonight.
Thank
Very
you.
excited. Thank you so much.
You've heard of CBD oil, right? Everybody has. CBD oil helps with relaxation as well as joint and muscle pain. But do you know what hemp-derived CBD oil is? Let's talk about HempWorks. HempWorks products are made from industrial hemp plants grown on Kentucky farms. And the CBD constituent that naturally occurs in industrial hemp is just one of over 85 cannabinoids that is identified in the cannabis plant. HempWorks CBD oil is CO2 extracted, resulting in a solvent-free, pure extraction. HempWorks offers 500 milligram and 750 milligram full-spectrum hemp oils. They also offer them in 2 flavors, peppermint and natural. They do not use any artificial sweeteners or flavorings. And also offer THC-free versions of these oils if you are subject to regular drug screening. HempWorks CBD oil is non-GMO and organic, produced on Kentucky farms, and is free of GMOs, synthetics, fillers, and other harmful ingredients. HempWorks is so confident in their oils and products that they give you a 30-day empty bottle refund policy. If you change your mind within 30 days of ordering, send it back and they will refund your entire purchase price. HempWorks offers several products, including an anti-aging cream, a Revive cream infused with collagen retinol, which has incredible benefits for the skin, a Relief cream, which helps soothe and relax muscles. Also, HempWorks has products for pets. There's dog treats and CBD oil. And the dog treats are soy-free, corn-free, and grain-free. I believe that HempWorks ships to all 50 states and some countries. So if you're interested in learning more or purchasing any of these HempWorks products, go to www.hempworks.com/BREXHEMP84. That's www.hempworks.com/BREXHEMP84. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Most workplace drug screens and tests target delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and do not detect the presence of cannabidiol, CBD. Cannabidiol, CBD, is a naturally occurring constituent of the industrial hemp plant. HempWorks does not sell or distribute any products that are in violation of the United States Controlled Substance Act. The company does sell and distribute hemp-based products. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.